That's why it's not
We could
so-
talk about that offline.
Because that
Engineers
she
have to do
wants
their
that
engineering
there,
work,
but I
right?
have the whole rest I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
But does that change your plan for the rest
Okay,
of the?
yeah,
I mean, I know the concept.
We
Yeah.
have a
no, I
question
understand,
here.
yeah. What?
I have a couple other.
Yeah, it'll be good.
John, was there, at the intersections, was there a
Yes.
vision for 4 lanes with 2 turning, or was it just going to be condensed in 2 lanes? Do you know?
We're not losing any lanes. That
Okay.
was the key to the county. The county does not want us to change any lane configuration. We have to maintain the number of lanes.
Okay.
We're okay to pull the width, and
Mhm.
we're okay to add bike lanes and other creative things on the side of the road. They like the idea of the corner bump outs. She would like us to do more concrete and a little less striping, but when I explained to her the challenges, the fire trucks and the other big vehicles, what she said was, let's do some turning templates, let's see where maybe we can do, be creative and get more bang for our buck out of it. I said, "Yeah."
Okay. Dan, you had a question?
So to continue the question, the bike lane from Jefferson down to Tenafly Road is whatever abuts the park.
Mhm.
So what's gonna happen on the rest of River Edge from Tenafly down to the train tracks?
The answer is she does not want a two-way bike lane on one side. It would either have to be bifurcated, one on one side, one on the other, all right, or.
While
we have to-
keeping all 4 lanes.
So I need to
We
work
have
for us.
space.
So my answer, I don't know the answer yet because, we just went over it this afternoon, so I don't have time to engineer it. And I really got to talk to David.
Yeah.
And figure out how to
So,
take our
so
next steps.
there's gonna be another revision of this whole plan.
Yeah, we're in a great place. The county's happy with us.
Good.
we're
Good
doing
progress,
well.
thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
great.
And I just have one more follow-up. So, there is a traffic safety grant for pedestrians that have, we've had deaths on River Edge. We were looking at a traffic safety grant. Anything from the county on that?
I can ask, anytime you guys want to apply for grants, get it to David. I help all my towns to get money. Okay, every town gets a different place with this, or whatever. I'll happy to help.
Okay, so you'll talk to David next. Yes, Julie?
One question for you before you go. I know that we had left it a couple weeks ago with me mentioning about the issue of the people turning into the Stop and Shop parking lot from the other side. And I believe you said you were gonna kind of look at that though before making a recommendation. I wasn't sure if you had a chance to do that or if this is all still in the plan.
We've looked at the traffic at the intersection, and actually, I think in one of our long-term recommendations to the town was that at some point that intersection be fully signalized and upgraded. I think down the road, even at the interim though, it will work perfectly fine when people and it will be, by the way, it is definitely safer for people to move up the street to make the turn at the intersection. Right now, it's chaos between people walking from CVS, walking across, the children are coming the other direction across the way towards the CVS. It's definitely better to organize that, put the island and make it safer.
And you
Without a
think,
doubt from a safety
and
standpoint.
then
that's best.
in the interim, the blinking yellow and red there is fine, you think?
It's fine.
Think?
We have a bunch of little things we need to work on. You can't do all this overnight.
Right.
One of the things that I love to recommend, and it'd be wonderful if you could participate, is looking at a longer-term plan for the overall circulation and traffic for the borough. All right, but we just, look at 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And this way we can start, obtaining resources from, say, the county, who's willing to do stuff, but it takes them 2 to 5 years to get something done. Well, if we can get on the page, then they're gonna pay for it.
We do.
We did the downtown study.
Yeah,
for-
we have
for
that,
the
yeah.
Fairmont Road closure, yes.
Okay, all right, so you'll get with David and we'll go from there.
Excellent.
Thank you for all your time and energy. Appreciate
We're
it.
done, we're good.
Thank you.
Have a great summer, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, the next topic on the agenda is. What? I don't think so. Do we need John for the ordinance? No. The public hearing? Do you think we need him, John? No? Okay. No. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you both.
Thank you, council.
Okay. The next topic is 121 North Summit Avenue, which is Benjamin Brothers. Everyone has these elevations in their packet. So
Oh, can I get a second?
basically what's going on here, this area is zoned for mixed use. And the applicant, the Benjamin Brothers, already have an approval. You see it on the front elevation of approved buildings for 112 units of the apartment block style, okay? And what they are asking is whether or not the council will consider And based on the apartment block style, all the parking is underneath, the building is on piers, okay? 112 units. They want to take it down to 105 units, and instead of the apartment block style, they want to do the townhouse style, which means they will have garages with garage doors and front steps on the ground floor. And in a mixed-use area, that's currently not permissible. And they're asking if the council will consider rezoning this area somehow to allow that to happen. They have, let me just finish my monologue here. So they're going from 112 to 105 units, 112 to 105, and they're keeping, the approved building has about 2,200 square feet of retail. Their proposed building will also have 2,200 square feet of retail. Those are the details, and the question is whether the council will consider rezoning for this. Go ahead, Lauren.
Why isn't this before the planning board?
What?
Why isn't this,
It's already approved from the planning board. They can
why
start,
isn't this question before?
because this is a Board of Adjustment question.
This is a board adjustment.
Right.
Are they meeting tonight?
No, they're not going to the board. They're not interested in going to the Board of Adjustment and spending 9 months to a year to be told no on a major policy thing that the council has to decide on.
Do we know if there's any concern on flooding? The first thing is on stilts, the second one would flood their garages.
I don't have any of those technical answers, right? In other words, those are all that's a very 100% valid question, needs to be answered, okay? But tonight is whether theoretically the council would consider this. Then they have to come in and make their pitch.
So I was just gonna say, in my one point of view is, so I'm certainly open, I wanna, if that's what they think is better for them, as long as it works with us, I'd be supportive of it. It sounds like fewer buildings, houses, which feels right. I think my ask would only be, again, mixed use, 2,000 square feet on 20 million square feet of whatever this mixed use property is. If they could take another look, if the council's willing to approve their approach, I'd love to see if that 2,200 square feet could be a bit more. It allows for 2 stores, maybe we could get a 3rd store in there, and with that, I'd be supportive.
How big is the current Benjamin Brothers retail footprint? Do we know?
Trillions.
It's
It's
big, right?
only
It's
retail.
only retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost this whole one.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think this is a great idea. I like the design better. It looks more like a town, feels more like a town. If we can maintain retail over there without traffic and, with parking and servicing, the residents that live there, I think this is an excellent idea.
Let's just make the flooding.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Why
notes.
do you want to change it?
Pardon me?
Do we have any idea what their
Probably the
reason?
market,
I think it's going to
the
be.
market,
Yeah,
Probably
it's
She's
better. It's a better product.
yeah.
So is it going to be a more upscale product?
Yeah, it's gonna be an
Will it
bigger
units?
Whatever upscale means, it's going to be
Like 1.5,
a better quality.
probably 1.5 outside, probably.
Yeah, for them to be reducing for
Yeah,
them
that's
to
what I'm saying.
suggest they're reducing units,
It's not normal.
they're going to want,
Right, that's
it's
what
going to
I'm
be
saying.
a,
You've got a captive audience over there.
Yeah, a better quality
You've
product.
got all of these things. And
Hey, Howie.
You can drive there easily. It's a very-
Good to see you. Yes, Julie.
Yeah, so I had a little trouble understanding with the change in their plan. Does this mean that there would be more multiple bedroom units as opposed to
They
if it
have it
was
right
the
now.
first?
Yeah, they have it
I'm seeing
on
this. I
page
don't know
3.
if This is from like Plan A to Plan B.
There's a side by side.
Yeah.
So they.
Oh,
One bedroom goes down, 2 bedroom goes up, 3 bedroom goes up.
Okay. So my concern would be that for the stress on our school system and resources, you have more people coming in when you have multiple bedroom facilities, and that would be a concern. Because I'm looking here, and the 1 bedrooms went from 56 down to 32. The 3 bedrooms went from 36 up to 55. And-
2 bedrooms.
Oh, the 2 bedrooms.
Bedrooms are the
Oh,
affordables.
sorry, the 2.
Say that again,
bedrooms.
about affordables?
It looks like the only
They
3
stay the same.
bedrooms are the ones that are for the affordable housing that's required by UHAC.
The 3 bedrooms?
Yeah,
Okay.
it has
So
to be a
that, so
minimum.
back to what I was saying, the 2 bedrooms went from 36 to 55. So that's, you know.
So
more
your question
families.
is about the makeup of the apartments. I've got that
Yeah.
noted.
And
Okay.
I'm concerned it's going to be extra stress on the schools.
Are we under stress?
That's what I was gonna say, that's the same question.
Tell me the number.
Are we what?
Are we under stress currently? Because I don't know the number.
We have 300 less students than we did 10 years
That's
ago.
what my
Yeah.
suspicion is. So I think we're not under stress.
But we're population growth of 1,000 more and going to private schools then, or more seniors.
Right,
So
whatever the reasons, with
the
300
density
less.
of our town has increased,
Right.
whether they're in our schools or not. What we look at is the density of this town.
All right, any other questions?
Yes.
Or comments? Go ahead, Lauren.
So, obviously, you know, we went back and forth on this mixed use idea, and at our planning board, so everyone knows, the idea was, do we want to offer more amenity space to some new building, or do we want to offer more retail for the community? And across the board, it was, on this council, we had discussed
I
retail.
remember that.
What I'm seeing here is building 6 amenity space. Is there any way to move that amenity space and increase that to complete retail in that center?
Well, that kind of goes to Adam's question, right? So we got to be careful about getting into too many details here because I can't speak for them. I'm only bringing back,
Again,
right? But you've made a point, you've got the same point, Adam, about adding additional space, whether they take it from amenity or they have to figure that out.
I will say, given the lot size here, there is almost no retail space. So again, I wasn't on planning board when this passed. I don't know the discussions that happened. I'm disappointed to see such a different
There
balance.
are no rules about
So-
ratios.
Real.
The last time we
So-
had a conversation, and this was something I know Wendy's working on,
Yeah.
just get an update, is we identified the gap, we as a council, that mixed use is 99%, 1%, if that's what they chose to do.
Okay.
And when we were gonna look into changing that.
The planning board, from the planning board side, as far as redoing the zoning ordinance.
You're saying the planning board has to make that decision?
That percentage.
When it was discussed, because the recommendation for a change came from the planning board up to the council.
Right, to get
And
rid of
so
it.
the council said, no, take it back, and we want them to actually do a percentage
Right, yeah.
and define it. So that went back to the planning board.
So, I apologize if this
No,
is
no,
not
go ahead,
in
go ahead.
action. So we as council agreed, we want to put numbers to mixed use.
Mhm.
Who is going to make, who makes that decision? Is that a council thing or is that a planning board thing?
So there's 2 ways to go.
Okay,
It can either originate at the council and then it has to go to the planning board for consistency review before you can adopt it.
okay.
Or it comes from the planning board and then the council can introduce and adopt an ordinance.
But the council has the authority to pass the ordinance ultimately.
Correct.
It's up to it's fundamentally the council's
So I
decision.
think we should just move on the
Right.
council
I agree.
to,
Yeah.
you tell us, Wendy, how best to do it, if we could do it pretty quickly, because we don't want another unit to, we don't want to make that same mistake twice. So let's get something that we could get to the planning board on what mixed use is, and.
It's too late for this one, right?
It is too
Yeah,
late for this.
This is
one.
already an approved
But-
project.
So this is an approved project the way it is, but as you all are discussing now would be a change to this anyway. So it would
Right.
require a new ordinance for the zone. So it could be defined within this whole process as well.
That's fine, again, I don't think it's gonna be ready for this, I don't know, but you can say otherwise. But again, let's put a number out there and we,
I'm saying this doesn't move unless you make an ordinance change.
Correct.
So it has to move hand in hand. You need a new ordinance anyway. So make it part of whatever you would change if you were going to be amenable to making the change to allow for
but then it's gonna
the
mess,
statute.
then this would never get approved because I expect this council, let's make up a number, minimum 20%, right?
Yes.
80-20. So if mixed use has to be at least 20% one or the other, and 2,000 square feet is not even close, so they'll never get this passed.
Right, so the question, before we get into the weeds, is do you want to consider this? If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do.
I don't want to slow down this process. This has been a long time in the making. So I'd like to get I'd like this approved. It sounds like we all agree that we want this
Okay.
with some
No,
more
no, we
retail.
don't.
But I think that what Wendy's saying is in this we could change it a
Now,
little bit, like little steps. Not 20% for this one, but we could say.
It makes no
No,
sense to
no,
change the
no,
ordinance
no,
once and
no.
change
I
it
think we're
another
getting
week.
way off track. aren't
We're
we?
getting a
Yeah.
little bit past, but let me explain something else. When you change the ordinance for zoning,
Yeah.
you don't change it for one property, you
Right.
change
Oh,
it for the
great.
zone.
I agree,
Right.
yeah.
So it's not like we just change it to make it fit the one plan, it's gonna fit everything
Again,
within that.
And I apologize, we've been talking about this for a few months now. I incorrectly believed we should have been moving this. Spoken to David about this a couple times. I expect that we have made a change. It seems like we did not. My fault for dropping the ball between, is it the planning board, is it us or the planning board or us? I'm not sure. I'm saying I want to make a decision right now as a council that we direct Wendy.
Respectfully, you need a planner to assist with this. This is not the bulk standards, whatnot, that would
Yeah,
be a
that's so-
planning process.
We got to get the planner in here. David?
Yes.
Again, we're talking about a simple thing, which is today, there's no level of
So let me
mixed
just,
use.
let me give you an example.
Yes.
Okay, let's say we pick a number,
Sure,
somebody,
20%, great.
20%.
Perfect.
So David needs to answer the question of, will you have any place to put the garbage at 20%? Should it really be 40% or should it be 15%? Like, should it just be the front 20% of the property? So
As
there's
I
a lot of
believe you just
questions.
said is, there's two ways about going about doing it. Asking the planning board to look into it, David
Right.
doing that, or us taking a first pass for the planning board to approve. I'm going with the second version, which is, right now, since we've just missed a few months,
Mhm.
let's not do that again. Let's make a recommendation for David to say, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Council, there's no place for the garbage, or no.
You want to suggest something to be validated.
Correct, absolutely.
So what I would recommend then is to get a proposal, because the planner's hired by the planning board. I don't believe the council has a planner.
We do.
We
Oh,
do.
we do.
We use the same planner.
Neglia.
No, no, Neglia, sorry.
So if you wanted Neglia to do it, then they're under contract. Otherwise, I would say to get a proposal from David Novak or whoever the planning board planner
David
is
Hall.
from.
David Holt.
I'm sorry, no,
No, he's the
that's
borough
engineer.
engineer. He's the planning board engineer.
Oh,
Burgess,
yeah, no.
Burgess.
Oh, Burgess?
Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely negative, without a doubt. Next question.
So why don't we get a proposal from Neglia to get into, to delve into this? We'll bring him to the next council meeting.
Okay.
Adam,
So
if I'm
can I-
understanding this correctly, I don't believe you have to concern yourself with this particular project. If it's a rule that we want to do, I think, am I understanding you correctly, Wendy?
Correct,
Is we just make
Right.
the rule.
correct.
Can I go back to this project though for a second?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, I understand that we don't love the second version. If we hem and haw here on the second version and ask them to switch it, they're just gonna go back to the
We don't
first.
not love
Yeah.
the second version. We actually like this second
Yeah.
version.
No, I'm saying in terms of retail things. I like the.
So
aesthetic of
your
the second
your
version.
thought is about, okay, if we
We don't
don't
have
do,
good options here with this project because we're in the position that they could just do the first one. They are approved for the
Yeah,
first
it's
one.
approved,
Elevated
it's done.
buildings on stilts with no retail.
they're coming to us,
No, but
asking
say
if-
no.
They had this-
okay, it's the same exact amount of retail, 2,200 square
So
feet.
it's a facade change and a structural change that relates to.
We want
the
them
box.
to.
Fewer located,
Fewer units, two
We like the second
bedrooms.
option.
Yes, I like the
Because they
second
want to
option
build
too. I
housing
do
on the
think
ground
they're
floor.
also getting away with.
This is the
not-
only reason they're asking this question is because they want to build the housing on the ground floor. That's it, full stop.
They have to come back to us, I'm with you, Adam, on the flooding, but they also have decreased the parking requirement per unit, so.
Right, so
that
getting
has
into
to get
the,
checked.
getting into these details is a waste of our time. The question is simply, do you like the concept that we can go back to them and say, give us a presentation, there's some detailed questions that need to be answered?
That's fine.
Okay, that's all we're looking
So
for.
We're not approving
If the
as
only-
it.
We're not approving
change
anything
that-
tonight.
Let me
That's
ask
fine.
a question, because this may be simpler than what I thought this was. If the only changes that we're gonna put into that chart that you have for your zoning, that requires that there's no residential on the, that commercial on the first floor, residential second and third.
Correct,
To indicate residential on all floors so long as X percentage of,
correct.
I can do that.
You can do
I
that?
can do that.
Okay, perfect, we got to it.
So-
Council go with 20%?
Okay.
It'll be in that, I think it's the S or whatever that zone is.
No, we're not about this, we're saying
I
in
don't
general.
have
You can do that. So
For all mixed use.
use the
Right now,
20%
it's
number, and
99.
you really can't say sitting here whether 20% is right or wrong. Talk to Neglia.
I know
What?
it's a minimum.
You guys talk it through. Okay, you talk to Neglia,
Maybe if
she
I-
does her thing. Okay, and David's gonna talk to Neglia.
It has to be
It's
zoned
just
for
a
the
goalpost.
I don't know that we-
So
We're
what
gonna talk
we're
to
doing
the
is
engineer,
not-
and he's gonna tell us does it make sense or not.
Okay.
All right. Okay, sounds like we're all on the same page with this.
Follow-up question.
Go ahead.
What's the percent for affordable housing on this one? The same?
It's 15%.
15? Are we allowed to make that higher by any chance? Like 20, let's say, just theoretically?
It's a negotiation. If they're coming in for a new approval, then they're coming in on whatever it is that's in place at the time. And quite frankly, the set aside ordinance for zoning change
Okay.
would be coming forward in September.
All right, let's move on. Go ahead, Lauren.
Theoretically, we can say start at 20.
You had a question about affordable housing, what the percentage is.
It didn't change, right?
Didn't change.
So
15%.
This is already in their zoning. If you wanted to change, it would also be a change across the board.
Right. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for that, everyone. Let's move on to public comment. Audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body. Items on or off the agenda. Large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represent them. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to speak? Well, this young gentleman over here had his hand up first, Howie. Tom, come up here and give us your name, but not your address.
Tom Giordano. A couple of questions. A number of months ago, Representative Gottheimer allocated a grant for some more cleanup and dredging. I was wondering how that's.
Cleanup for,
Was this the technical-
oh, the $1.6 million? David can speak to it. We're in the midst of, it was assigned to HUD.
Yes.
So HUD is a federal agency overseeing that project. So David, why don't you give a
Yeah,
little
so we
detail?
are in the process right now of having our borough engineer complete some of the environmental assessment that HUD requires. They are in the final stages of that according to the report back from the engineer. So I would hope that by the end of summer, early fall, that will all be to HUD and we will then be able to have our grant contract signed by both HUD and the borough, and for cleanup to be able to start at some point during the winter, early spring.
Okay, thank you. Another question. I know the town had asked for proposals for developing a lot next to the post office. Where does that stand? Any proposals?
Yeah, we received one proposal and we're currently reviewing that internally by staff and our professionals. And I would expect there may be a presentation here to the council at the next meeting on August 18th.
In that proposal, are you going to let the proposal include possible parking on the Resco Park across the street?
No.
What's he say?
Was that?
What was the question? Wait, one at a time.
Never been
Guys,
discussed.
one at a time. What was the question, Tom?
Are we gonna blacktop restaurant?
What? Are we gonna black, that's like a rumor that, who knows started it? There's no truth to
It's
it.
horrible.
Okay, thank you.
It's disrespectful at best.
Yeah.
I agree.
No,
Like,
good
don't
question.
ever do that.
Good question.
Anybody, and all 15,500 residents that are in town, it's just horrible slander.
So you ready?
I'm all for it, yes. And skyscrapers, I'm putting skyscrapers. in the Resco Park.
Some's gonna take that snippet of
Okay,
the
go ahead,
video,
Tom.
and that's all
Tom.
we're gonna put.
Were any proposals received for the proposed golf course in the top of Highwood Avenue?
That proposal is not due until September 10th.
Okay, thank you. Next thing is a big thing of mine is CSX.
Go ahead.
By the way, it's horrible, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. On Central Avenue, they repaired it roughly 3 to 5 years ago. There's still a pile of stones, metal rails, wooden ties, all overgrown. And I don't know where the CSX, but within the last month, there's a portage line parked there in the trailer. Right
So,
on the Central and Piedmont.
There's a whole lot of things going on with CSX.
Okay.
There's a lot, go ahead, you want to finish or do you want me to?
Another thing,
There's more about CSX you want to say?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Between, on River Edge and Piedmont, the same thing there, when they redid the crossing there, there's debris all over the place. Also, from West Clinton Avenue to Westervelt, there are dead trees, trees in danger of falling. If that was somebody's house, they would get a summons for the upkeep with that. And that's it, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to say about CSX?
Can we
Yeah, you
discuss
walked away,
CSX
it's
for a
okay.
second?
What?
Can we discuss CSX for a second?
CSX, so as everyone knows, so Tom, you walked away from the mic too soon. So-
I don't like to talk, that's why.
That's all right. So CSX is doing all kinds of work from the Tenafly Englewood border south. Whatever they're doing down there.
I
Okay?
know they dumped a load of dirt and sludge was parked.
Correct, which they have permits for. It's in various stages of movement, right? So from the Tenafly Englewood border, which is a couple of feet north of Ivy Lane, what is that? Probably is where the gas station ends, right? The northern side of the Ivy Lane gas station?
Actually, if you would go down Phelps Avenue
Yeah,
on the south curb line, and that goes across Dean Street,
right.
Dean Drive, and that's the property.
And that's the back of the gas station, the old,
Yes.
okay, so that's what.
His house.
So from that point north to the New York State border, CSX has declared the line out of service as of several weeks ago.
Oh, good.
Okay, so that means there's an opportunity now to realistically build the Northern Valley Greenway.
Oh, that'd be great.
And along with that comes like 100 million details. I don't know if you brought your checkbook tonight, maybe, But, and so a lot of those details are going to include how the tracks get cleaned, how it gets maintained, to address a lot of the issues you're talking about. So we're in regular communication with CSX. It's not the fastest process in the world, but they are responding to us regularly, so we give them a lot of credit for that. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna let them know to clean up, or are we gonna?
No, we talk to see it. We talk, David communicates with CSX and so do I. So we'll raise this issue with them.
Is the county aware that CSX is out of service?
The county is absolutely aware. What?
What's the
From
southern
the
point?
Tenafly Englewood border
Oh,
to the northern New Jersey border at New York State.
Through Northville,
What?
through Northville.
Yeah, it's been declared out of service. It's done.
Which is a significant achievement.
Yeah, it's a major achievement. Howie, you want to come up to the microphone?
So awesome.
Howie Stein. First of all, I want to commend all of you for being here. It's August, you get 100% attendance.
Very dedicated.
Way to go.
I'm as shocked as you are, attitude.
Just to let Tom know too, CSX, not CSX, the county just repaved Ivy Lane in Englewood and they paved over the tracks.
Yes, they did.
So they didn't get the memo where the border is.
No.
Recently, my wife and I had the pleasure of attending the Seneca Falls Twin City
Sister
Sister
City.
City. It was a wonderful time, Councilperson Dr. O'Connor was able to speak and represent the Tenafly borough. And it was just a great time. They were very charming people and very welcoming. The mayor there, she was wonderful.
Good.
And very warm, so glad to have them as a sister city.
Great.
So now, unfortunately, I'm gonna put you on the hot spot a little bit. Last year, you guys decided with the leaf composting site to.
Correct.
How many years was that contract for the removal process?
I think it was 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll double check on that, but I believe it
Okay.
was 2.
So DEP is advertising right now for grants for towns to clean up, to help mitigate stormwater runoff for sites. They have a grant that's currently open, I think, for another week or two to apply for it, so that towns can come in compliance and continue operating their leaf composting sites. So I think it's something that the town should look at, unless you have plans for the site.
Where did you read that?
The DEP, they sent out
So maybe we have.
a notice.
Check with India.
Yeah, we'll check. We'll find out.
I
That's good.
can forward it to you.
Yeah. forward
That's
it
not
to
putting
me,
us on the
that'd be great.
spot. That's good news.
That's
You
very
can
good.
forward it to us, yes.
Absolutely. And the other thing, I wanted to commend somebody else, but he's not here tonight, the police chief. I hadn't been here in a while, but back in February or it was March, when PSE&G was doing the construction on our street, when they were digging by my house, the chief was working the overtime detail. And I have to tell you, not only does the department look great, but he's a heck of a guy, because.
He is.
Yes.
Here. I just hope the rest of the police department watches and learns from him, because to give you an idea, the street was closed and the recycling truck, had to make it pick. That our chief, knowing that the recycling truck, he went to the people's homes and moved the bins, brought them out. It was a cold day. It was like in the 20s. He didn't have to do that. And then afterwards, he brought the cans back to people's garage doors.
We got them wrong, but.
I mean,
If you get to him on a Sunday morning, he'll make pancakes for you.
thanks, I'm gonna keep that. Yeah. So I just wanted to recognize that, eventually he's gonna retire, and it's gonna be a big loss for the town. I mean, I really think he's been a great police chief, so. I just, I saw that observation, I mean.
Thank you
there are
for
a lot-
saying that.
A lot of officers that
Yep.
wouldn't go that extra mile, and it was nice to see him do that, for the residents. So. Thank you.
Thank you, Howie.
Wait, wait, Howie and Nina, don't go. One of the things that I've been working on for like a couple of years was grants actually to open up a museum for Elizabeth Cady Stanton. And Julie, I didn't know you spoke of Seneca Falls. I would have come see. But I do think that, Seneca Falls gets millions of tourists a year in education and in justice and civil rights. People go and they learn about the women's movement and so much more. We literally are the sister city. We have Elizabeth Cady Stanton living here. We have her home preserved. Fortunately, we knocked down the Valley Hotel, but we should have something for education here. We actually can apply for tourist grants in New Jersey, believe it or not. Very few people are able to open up a local museum. If it put in 100 people or 2 busloads of school children a year, that's more than we're getting now. And people utilizing our town, visiting, putting us on the map. Something I very much want to work on this council. And I have a list of amazing grants. You were talking about grants.
It's great that you say that
To
because
do that.
walking the streets of Seneca Falls, we ran into people from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Who were just happened to stop off and then they took a tour of some of the area there. And they were just so impressed with the National Park Service does a great job there. They really do.
And it doesn't have to be an old fashioned. We can do a modern take and still have like the history to now on something that's incredible. But we have this opportunity, and actually Peter Cassio's daughter did all the grant work, so I do want to give her a ton of credit. He's on our historic preservation committee, and he's not old fashioned. He takes old fashioned into modern, and just I think we can seriously do something very cool here and put us on the map as a sister city. That would be just not sure if Nina or you want to get involved, but
I think my wife actually has a few words she wants to say.
sure.
All right, Howie, quick, stop while you're ahead.
No,
Okay.
I'll speak. She was excited. To her, it was amazing because for her, having grown up in the Elizabeth Cady Stanton house, to go up to the other Elizabeth Cady Stanton house up there and actually be in that home as well, it was just very moving for her. She had a wonderful time, and it really was just a great time.
Well, we need to honor that.
Okay, thank you, Howie. Would anyone else like to make any public comments here in the chambers? All right, Omar, is there anyone online who'd like to make public comments?
See no hands, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to close public comment. We're going to move on to the administrator's report.
Wait, Mayor?
Yeah.
Sorry, we had that one correspondence. I do want to, is now.
Yeah, we're going to discuss the administrator's report now.
Okay.
So does anybody have any questions for the administrator? And there's a question about road paving and Capel Drive. Lauren, go ahead. What?
Actually, I wanted to start with something different that actually Tom was here and asking me about the dog park landscaping. It seems to either have red rust disease or lack of water,
Lack of water.
but actually some of it's
There's
red
no
rust.
irrigation. I've already vetted, there's no
That's
irrigation.
in the
That is a
report.
failure,
It's in
and it looks terrible, and it's an embarrassment. That's
Yeah, David's got some answers for
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Okay, let's start there.
That's about the bushes.
David,
Okay.
you're the only David here.
Yeah, so, first of all, the evergreen trees that were planted by the contractor that are dying, are being replaced by the contractor at his expense in October. We're waiting until October for the planting season to be correct. My concern is that I'm not sure that the trees were planted correctly to begin with. DPW does go out and water the trees. We also have some issues with the pollinator garden, and the pollinator plants that were planted are now dead as well, and weeds and so forth. So we're taking a look at that. We've had some issues with the fountain. All of this stuff is covered either in the maintenance bond or by the punch list that has not been fully completed yet. I spoke with the mayor earlier. The dog park committee has some concerns about the pea gravel that was spec'd for there. They have a couple of recommendations if we can switch that out for a different surface.
I have to see if we have any need for the pea gravel at other projects, and if we can repurpose that, it's something we could potentially consider.
Can we consider not, I mean, like irrigation may be expensive, but drip lines are not. So in the fall, we put a drip line in, that would really help those plants survive. And then next summer, we're much easier. I totally agree with the October planting, and I recognize that, mainstream irrigation is difficult, but a drip line is not.
Right. We could most certainly do that. I'm gonna talk to Pat about it and.
And saves them time, right?
Yeah,
They can't walk.
definitely.
It's crazy.
Right.
I do hear what you're saying, John, but I do want to just say that I was surprised because we all had kind of fought for Kindergarten as opposed to like other people to get the contract. And it did surprise me. I mean, I understand some of these things die, but I was surprised that it wasn't the work I expected from Kindergarten for the pollinator plants. And I was a little surprised. That's all.
I don't have an opinion on the pollinator because I haven't seen it and I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know the plants and I do know the variety fairly well, and they never had a chance because of the lack of irrigation. Like those plants need a lot of water to take, and that's, if it wasn't in the proposal, that's on us. If it wasn't in the proposal, it should be remediated with that carry.
Well, look, it's on their dime to replace it, so obviously
Yeah,
it was.
that's
if
an
they-
interest to make sure they're water. Yeah.
Right. So I had some questions, but I think Lauren, you were going first, or?
No, it's okay. I'll come back.
Okay. So just, I wanted to make sure first, just a couple of things regarding, when we have, people get summonses and those type of things, like, enforcement, that's the word. I was
Code
looking for.
enforcement?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you both, Wendy and David, for your efforts regarding the Airbnb. I saw on the administrator report, looks like we've moved forward with contacting the company and make sure we don't have listings. And if anybody ever sees listings on Airbnb or VRBO that mention Tenafly, please report that.
So I've been monitoring it, and as of yesterday, they're now listing it for over 30 days only.
Oh, okay, so I just wanted to say thank you for that work. Also, I noticed you had with the enforcement, the attachment, I just want to bring up this one property. I know it's come up before. It's the property next to the Clinton Inn, has very overgrown grass, and I just was hoping we could.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. I should have put this in the report. But code enforcement visited with me earlier in the week, and with that particular property, and I believe it's 82 Woodland.
Okay. It's not on Dean?
No,
No,
they're
it's
strictly
Another separate property.
But both of them have
I'm
maintenance,
sorry,
both of them
Ann.
have maintenance issues, so we're exploring having the borough
And sending them a bill.
hire a company and then putting it onto their tax.
Okay.
Good.
And also goes into they put trash and tires and everything into the Churchill Preserve. So
Oh, lovely.
They should go in the back. I've taken pictures and sent, but it's whoever, they should look back there as well.
Okay.
And we need a video camera like we do at the Nature Center over there.
So I wanted to thank you about that. Just two other quick follow-ups was back on Grove. I just want to make sure I read it correctly about the park. You meant the stone path that would go back to where the benches are gonna, that is gonna be.
That's being constructed as well, not tonight, but they were there today putting some of this stuff in.
I wanted to say, I think it's looking great. I love how the flower beds are looking. I just want to use this opportunity as, to tell people if they are differently abled and need wheelchair accessible flower beds, those are installed now. And I'm very happy with how the park is coming along. So thank you for that. I know a few months back, I mentioned the Welcome Committee had brought up the issue of sirens and defining these different sirens that we get. And I wasn't sure if there was a way that we might be able to communicate it. I didn't see it in our latest newsletter, but I thought that perhaps we could communicate that maybe with the new website that
We can certainly do that. I think we were looking to have the fire chief come to answer some of your questions. So I just need to get a date from the chief as to when he's able to come.
Oh, and then when he so when he explains it, then maybe we can summarize it.
Right.
Okay.
Because he, basically has requested that the noontime sirens stay, and then there's
Oh.
the many different sirens for.
I remember the
various
controversy
fire
now,
laws.
yes.
We have a noon siren, but we have
Sorry.
an earthquake
So-
and nothing happened.
So,
Let's just be clear. Like, that noon siren has to go. The siren has to not make people fearful. It's gotta have a function.
well, the
Those are
the
times it's not a
sirens,
siren
if you think about it, right, the sirens are to summon the volunteers
Yes, perfect. That's
to
all
go
it's
put
for.
out fires.
Perfect.
Once the earthquake starts, it's already here, right? There's no,
My point is.
it's
telling
arrived.
time is not a relevant reason
Right.
to.
So we're gonna have
Stories.
the fire chief here
To
to
explain
explain
the
to us,
sirens.
and then in the next newsletter, we can verbalize what all the sirens mean.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you very much for the work.
Okay,
So
Laura,
on code enforcement, this one is still, it's getting worse and worse, I will say. I want code enforcement on our non-smoking around the restaurant ordinance. We have an ordinance that Dan, Julie, back in the day, and I passed, the Board of Health had asked for it, that puts a distance between people smoking outside and our outdoor dining and our outdoor residents. So I'm laughing because I'm sitting at Brasserie the other week, and one of the store owners right there is smoking up a storm, and the smoke is drifting over all the outdoor diners at Brasserie.
I didn't think people smoked anymore.
Well,
Only cool.
everybody,
smokes anymore?
all of our
Coming
store
back.
owners, a significant amount of our store owners are actually like, what are you talking about? The smoke shop itself, they're smoking all the time in front
Well,
of there.
they need to.
I know.
Not tobacco.
Well, it's definitely not tobacco, but also we have an ordinance in place. We have zero code enforcement, and I don't want to be too big brother about this, but it's becoming a problem. Like, I don't want to actually eat outside with my family because people are smoking over my food. So,
Going after code enforcement for.
yeah, I don't know how to enforce it.
so we'll have code enforcement look at
I
that.
would not choose that as my target one, because there's so many others that should be part of a much longer list.
All right, so we'll have code enforcement look at
I
that.
think you're right.
But what I want to say is, so code enforcement actually should be made aware the ordinance exists. Because I said, go call into the town to somebody who was literally smoking in my face. And they said, they called code enforcement, and code enforcement said, no ordinance exists.
Oh.
And I know that's wrong.
They
because I
said
literally
what?
wrote it.
Chapter 3-16.3.
Thank you, I was like, I know I wrote it.
What's,
the
what's
other
the,
thing is-
what's the distance?
Who's our liaison to Chamber of Commerce? Because maybe so Adam, maybe that's a better way to go, is that we talk to our Chamber of Commerce and our business owners and just explain that, the outdoor dining is an incredible benefit for Tenafly. We want people to experience that, sort of smoke-free while they're eating. That's an experience to go out with, at least I have children.
I think I don't know, whatever is higher than a super majority of people would agree. I personally
Yes, but it's
haven't seen
not-
it,
Oh, my God.
but.
I
I haven't
know.
seen it all.
So I'm out a lot in the day.
Say something?
I said something and I feel like the worst Karen ever. So I don't want to be that person. I actually would prefer if it was just better known and promulgated possibly to the people smoking over me while I try to eat.
So the only caveat here
We
though
have signs, I
is
think.
that it's 10 feet unless you're standing on a privately owned residential, commercial, or industrial property that surrounds the area. So if
So-
it's like a private property next door, you can't
Yeah.
enforce it.
So if someone's a tenant,
It's still private property.
That's their own,
That's private
so they
property.
could.
okay, then we need
Whoever wrote
to.
the ordinance, yeah, really kind of rule the word.
Like, here's a perfect example, and I'm sorry to call her out, but the owner of Mint smokes all the time on the corner of our town. So as you drive through our town, whether you're eating there or not, she's out there smoking. It's just also I don't know, unsightly.
You can't judge on the outside.
Fine,
All right,
can't judge
so-
me. Okay, but we were cleaning up our town.
David will talk to code enforcement.
I'm not sure that, I'm saying, again, if we
It's
need to
gonna be-
revisit this language or talk to the Chamber of Commerce, which I think might be a better option than code enforcement. I
I
don't think we
think
should be
so.
running around giving out tickets necessarily,
Yeah, and
but
there's not a lot of resources to run around, give out tickets for people
nor am I
smoking.
looking for that, but just maybe
Right.
education here.
So we'll do a little education.
I'll bring
Okay.
it up in the next chamber.
Any other questions
I
for the
mean, I guess
administrator?
my sister was-
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Fans,
The pond.
No,
No?
The pond.
I just showed
so green.
What?
It looks like grass now.
What did he say? What?
Walk on this.
Oh.
It's green and it's got a pump, and it's got a pump.
That is one I recognize that. I appreciate that.
It's
It's on God's green earth. It's so green.
There's not enough oxygen circulating in the bottom of the pond.
If you get up every morning
I
and
will
walk
walk
on
on
it,
it.
and you'll get.
So is there any solution to that?
We can get some oxygenators that will be put into the bottom of the pump.
So let's do that, figure out what it costs,
I
and see if we have the money for
Can
it.
we put in like
It's really.
frogs and fish?
The fact that we can see it.
Or are they gonna
I'm
die?
not sure about that.
It's even worse.
All
I
right,
can look into
Julie,
that, but I know that you can put some oxygenators in the bottom and it'll circulate.
Number two, the crossing on Knickerbocker Road at Knickerbocker. We
Yes.
talked about this for a long time.
That's in the works right now.
It's been in the works.
No, I mean, it's been procured.
Okay, so how do I manage expectations around? It is the end of
when will it be
this.
installed is the question.
I crossed that road the other day, I'm like, wow, if I get hit, that'd be a really good story. And that's
Yeah,
what
you
we
know,
know.
that I'm not sure. I have to check with the chief because that procurement was going through the police department. And I know that it was basically signed off on in the last couple of weeks. So it should be in queue, but I'll get a specific date if I can.
It's coming with good news. I got you.
For the golf
Number
course.
three.
Poor David, you don't,
I know, it's not.
Not this way, this way.
Never gonna get that.
How awesome is
I
David?
started off David's
All right, go ahead. Last question.
We're talking about foxes and other predators. There was a conversation last time about a potential mayor's meeting. Sounds like a very elite breakfast somewhere.
It's not, trust me, I've been to them.
To discuss deer and foxes, right? The foxes are, like, it's impressive. I mean, I grew up here and I remember the day I saw a deer on Park Street when I grew up. I was like, it was the first time I ever saw it in 25 years. Now I see, 50 a day, and now I see 5 to 7 foxes a day.
Yeah.
I know you're not,
Really?
this isn't like, what can we do?
So the county won't do anything about healthy wildlife,
Where are the foxes like?
right? Foxes.
Show
No, I've seen them, but like.
Yes.
Where the foxes?
Okay, hold on, let's,
In their world. I feel like, oh, like,
let's answer one question here at a time, right? So the mayors are gonna get together, have conversations about it, but there's no common ground on what to do.
Foxes do not belong in the suburbs.
Pardon me?
Foxes do not belong in the suburbs. I'm with John. This huge fox that I was showing, it was following me home and my dog.
Tell the state we don't need to build more housing and maybe they would still have a
It's
place
a
to
Yeah.
live.
No
The
foxes.
Foxes have a council meeting on Wednesday.
All right.
Go to their meeting.
Let's go, next question.
Okay.
And David's great.
Go ahead, Lauren, what's your question?
Okay, I was like making sure John was done. I want to talk about the Little League field. So I understand that in the next meeting, we will get the proposal, or are we getting it back? I'm sorry, what is the status? I'll start that.
So we are in negotiations with two companies right now for a price.
I thought we picked one.
No. We rejected all the bids, so we authorized contract negotiations. So we're negotiating with two companies, two of the lower bidders, that are getting back to me with new pricing. And I expect that to be settled around $600 to $610,000. So we should be in a position at the next meeting to award a contract, assuming that we can finalize that negotiation over the next week or two.
When's construction anticipated?
Construction will start, this is at the request of the Little League.
Mhm.
The construction will start at the end of their fall season in mid-November and would be complete before the beginning of March.
That's really the key,
Yep.
right there. Get it ready.
And this is all in consultation with.
Yes. I did also want to ask about that, what was it? There was another study, the county, there was another study on traffic. Oh, the street scan, sorry, that's the name.
Yes,
So we did a traffic study with Colliers. We spent an enormous amount of money to assess every single road.
that's dated significantly long ago.
I understand that, but it can only be 5-6 years old, because I was here when it was there.
Right, it's not worth the paper that it was.
Yeah,
written at this point.
it's had its day, right?
There's other stuff, and obviously DPW Director Mason knows the right stuff to do. I know. I I sent to the mayor, some message I got also on using AI to scan
Correct.
streets and everything.
Yeah,
I
so we
think it's a great
actually,
opportunity.
so the street
Yeah,
scan
so
is
I was
one.
gonna say, talk to me about this.
Street Scan is one proprietary company that has one methodology. Actually, Pat and Omar and I had a presentation by another company that is the AI company today with a different price point and one that we could scan as often as we want and actually puts
Put on the police cars.
police cars or DPW trucks or what have you, which is a intriguing option. If the price point really does play out, it probably would be something to consider.
Can you give me a sense of price here? Because I remember spending a lot of money on our
Sure,
traffic.
so
and our roads.
the AI
Yeah,
feature is $10,000 annually.
And-
Massively lower than. 'cause
Well,
again,
clearly,
it's
but what does it give us? So, I mean, will it tell us curbing, sewers, like all the details
Well,
of
it's
the
going to
road?
give you the condition of your roads, right? So
Right,
it's going to
it's about the
scan.
road.
It's pretty much the red, yellow, green. And
All right, one at a time, one at a time.
So, will it tell us, intersection crossings?
Yes, so it will give you it'll take scans and photos and tell you, whether a road is alligatoring or in various stages of disrepair. It will categorize it in red, yellow, green,
Mhm.
and make recommendations as to where we should put our dollars for paving, in that upcoming year. And it would be an objective process.
So I will just again say, and I'm not against this at all, I will say, the correspondence I wanted to add is a resident from Coppell. They have potholes. They are tripping in their potholes, literally. The residents, I'm getting numerous calls from Coppell. And last time I sent in something like, can we just send a pothole filler because it's going to take so long to pave our roads? And that even hasn't been done on Coppell. So what is the difference? Like, what does Coppell show now on our old chart that was 5 years ago versus what Street Scan is going to show? Because if it's not drastically different, again, I know Coppell needs to be paved. It would need to be paved 5 years ago. We haven't gotten to it yet. Why do I need AI to tell me it needs to be paved again?
Because we've got 56 miles of roads.
We have 56 miles of data already.
Correct.
We know what we've checked off in the red roads. We know what we haven't. Not that I think this is a bad idea, but I'm just saying, what else is it telling me that we don't already know? I know Coppell needs to be paved.
Right, so we pave the roads every year based on the worst roads first.
Right, but we haven't gotten to a huge portion of our worst roads.
So, right, no, you're 100% right.
P&G made
So-
it worse, the P&G made it, now they're gonna fix it.
Well, they've opened
right?
everything
It costs too
now,
much.
and they're not gonna fix
Right,
it to the
so-
level that we fix it, but.
So your average road takes about 15 years before it gets repaved. We have 56 miles of roads,
Right.
right? So there are roads, and Coppell is one of them that hasn't been paved in a long time.
Right, but so
So-
what is Street Scan telling us for $10,000 that I don't already know?
It'll give us, because it's not about what you already know, it's about what we know about 100% of the 56 miles of roads, then we'll know what to pave first.
We're far away.
Right.
But again, let's not
Right.
jump ahead. I
Right.
think it sounds like a great opportunity.
I think that's,
That's what Pat, that's why we pay for a DPW director. And I assume that he'll come to us when he has a recommendation on,
now that being said, we're going to send the DPW director to look at the potholes on that street to find out exactly
Yeah,
what's
if we
happening.
don't, Coppell has called me all summer, and I don't blame them. I went to walk on it, I went to drive on, but it's one of so many. But can we please at least send our pothole filler to Coppell,
Yeah,
like immediately?
they're out there, but let's double check Coppell. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
you'd kill yourself. You'd hit all.
Any other questions for David?
Yes, I do. So,
Okay, go ahead. What?
oh, ankle was nice.
Copel.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, that's my
The
next
Bronx
question.
way of saying it. I
Jamie, do
make
you have
up
something?
words as
'Cause
I go.
I have one more.
She wanted
Okay, what's your last question?
I have another one.
Okay, let's get, Lauren, what's your question?
Okay, so I'm sorry, so now that
Substance.
we've paid Angle, and by the way, I will defer to John on that pronunciation because I've heard it both ways, and you've been here longer. The Mrs. Ma area that was supposed to be a striped crosswalk, that's where Mrs. Ma got hit by a car and passed
Right.
away. It comes up, what am I doing? Highwood? Hillside, thank you. Hillside and intersects Angle, and when they redid the road, they were supposed to stripe it, was the idea. It never got done. So I am going to say, in honor of her and that horrific accident, can we please get some striping there?
Well, we have to talk to the police.
It's a cross
Yeah,
angle,
but
and it
you
was
have
supposed
to
to be.
talk-
On
We have to have
Hillside.
that conversation with the police chief
That
because
is-
there were
yeah.
safety issues there with
There
the
was-
traffic
there were
and rage.
Didn't we have the traffic engineer look at this last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it was it's a blind curve. It was supposed to.
That's why they don't want.
There's
they don't
some
want-
safety issues there with,
To direct the people walking to a certain part of the
Exactly.
intersection.
Yes,
and not
right.
to the blind curve.
right.
Yes.
Okay, but so then it still doesn't have any
So
striping or
we'll talk to the
crosswalks.
chief
don't want
and
it
find out
there.
what the story is.
I
You
know.
don't want it
Yeah.
there.
Okay, any other questions for David? Okay. All right, let's move on to the public hearings.
David and the mayor can just check your emails. I sent you that link.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's the name of it?
Okay, all right.
Thank you, David, for the.
Public
We got a public hearing.
Mayor,
First,
I'm sorry, before you do, I just wanted to point out that Mr. Giordano, who's not here now, had pointed out that there was a typo. It was actually, for the ordinance, there was a typo in it. It's East Clinton, not West Clinton.
okay,
So just so that you know, it's been fixed before the
Oh,
actual vote.
okay.
Question
Thank
for
you.
David. The full other side of Englewood was supposed to get paved by the county.
Yes.
When is that supposed to be a start?
I think the county is either, they already had done it recently or they're.
No, it was just up there. I don't think they did they?
I know they've done
Nice.
I know the county's done some of their section because I've gotten complaints about how they left an ADA crosswalk.
You're talking about Engle Street from East Clinton to West Hudson?
No, the other side, complete other side.
From Westerville.
It's done from East Clinton to Hudson is done.
No, the Englewood side.
The Englewood
Uh,
From the Englewood line.
In the Engle
Hudson,
line,
Hudson.
yeah, that's
From
Hudson.
near, like the cleaners,
Yes,
which is terrible.
they did
Just
that.
That's all.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think,
just there.
Yeah.
I think the county just did that.
Okay, let's move on to the ordinance.
I was just there.
Okay, ordinance 25-22, vacating and repurposing portions of Piermont Road. Omar, would you like to read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Sure. Ordinance number 25-22 was published in the Sunday, July 20th edition of the Record. It is an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, vacating and repurposing portions of Paramount Road for municipal purposes.
I'd like to open the floor for any public comment on ordinance 25-22 only. Would anybody like to make a comment here in the chambers?
Again,
Anybody like to make a comment online? Omar, is there any members of the public who want to make a comment?
So, hands, Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Park, would you like to make a motion?
before we do, I just want to also say, I still think we need to study the traffic here. I know we're closing it, but I am getting a lot of resident pushback on this.
Well, we did all
At
the
the
studies, then we got the
crossroads.
traffic reports.
Yes,
Right.
I know, but just, we need to keep residents informed that we will be changing those intersections when we close this.
And we will continue to do that.
What we envision also.
Okay, so we're, good idea, but we're in the middle of this ordinance. Okay. Dan,
What happened?
ask for a motion, please.
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading ordinance 25-22, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Omar, could you please conduct a roll call?
Councilmember Dayton? I mean, sorry, Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton?
There's no.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Councilmember Michaels?
Said yes,
Yes.
right?
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Roll
Yes.
Okay, next new business, we're introducing ordinance number 25-23. Councilwoman Dr. O'Connor, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to introduce on first reading ordinance 25-23 and set the hearing for August 18th, 2025 at 7:30 or as soon thereafter.
Could I have a second, please? Omar, could you please read the title of the ordinance and conduct a roll call?
Sure. Ordinance number 25-23, an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, appropriating $100,000 supplementing ordinance 24-09 and 25-13 for upgrades at the Little League Field. Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels?
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Roll
All right, thank you, everyone. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, resolutions 25-398 through resolution 25-423?
Can we take out one of them, please? 419.
Which one?
419,
Tenafly Apartments.
the 66
The
West
developers
Railroad.
agreement.
Okay, could I get a motion to approve resolutions R25-398 through R25-418 and R25-420 through R25-423? Can I have a second?
Second.
Omar, call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair,
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember Roller.
Yes.
You have a question about 419?
Hold on, give me a second so I can remember
It's
what
for
the
you.
question was. So this is an apartment complex that planning board, that's come before planning board. This is on West Railroad Avenue, so like where the, Good Taste Chinese food is, right, Mayor? That's this location?
No, it's where the old garbage dump is.
On the
Oh,
other
this is
side of that
Adoni.
road.
What?
This is Adoni.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then never mind. Okay, I had a question on Adoni. But just so everybody knows, this went back and forth a couple times on planning board. They want to put up a small building. We've worked out setbacks and green space and side yard, but recognize that this is a commercial zone, so there's almost no side yard required. So it will be a very tight, and they're building next to the buildings next to
Well,
it.
it's a residential zone also.
It's a both,
Yeah, they didn't get use variances here.
right, but they're getting no side yards because of the commercial. not
Because
for
of the zone.
residential.
It's
Because of
just
the
the
zone.
setbacks within that mixed
Yes,
use
because they can
zone.
use
Right.
it, yes. And there, it is a mixed use, and there will be a retail space on the first floor, which will be nice.
And they're putting a pool on the roof. Yep,
Awesome. Did that come before us?
of course, yeah. A public pool? No. It's public if you pay rent. Okay, can I get a motion to approve resolution R25-419? Have a second.
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair,
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yeah.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember Roller.
Yes.
All right, Omar, I've got a question. Is the Board of Adjustment trying to use our Zoom account? Because,
They weren't able to, so they canceled.
so they canceled it, so they're not trying to get in now when we go out. Okay, so we'll do committee reports then. Councilman Park, you have anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Councilwoman O'Connor?
Yes, I'd actually like to take the time to talk about my trip to Seneca Falls. So here is a key to the city of Seneca Falls and two historical books they gave. I have already spoke to Omar about we're going to put a lot of the gifts they gave us in a shadow box and display it under her picture at the front. I was so happy that Nina and Howie were able to meet my husband and I up there as well. So we had a little Tenafly delegation. And it really was a very moving experience. And I learned a bit more about Elizabeth Cady Stanton in the sense of the people up there actually had not realized that she lived down here in our town for about 20 years. So I came with Sophia Lee's Lego creation of her house in Tenafly. That went over so big, and it's being donated to the national park up there. I gave them that picture, that 100-year-old picture of our Tenafly police force, and a lot of our walking tour books that were made by our historical society. And they were just very happy to learn about Elizabeth Cady Stanton's time here. As I learned more about her, I had not realized that, we're very lucky to know who she is because we happen to live in Tenafly. So when you're growing up, the only suffragist you ever hear about is Susan B. Anthony. I learned later that that was very purposeful. Her history has been erased because she got more controversial as her life went on. And she actually zeroed in on organized religion being used as a tool to keep women down.
She wrote a new book.
And she wrote a woman's Bible. And when she did that, she actually was censured by the very group that she started. So Elizabeth Cady Stanton became erased, even though it was her, not Susan B. Anthony, who created the very first convention called up in Seneca Falls. She made it and said, this is where we have to ask for the right to vote. And they tried it for 45 years, that same amendment. And then later on, after both her and Susan B. Anthony died, it eventually happened. But I really want to say that I came back very inspired that our Tenafly schools, I'm going to go to the Board of Ed, Tenafly schools really teach about this woman. And I will be writing something for our newsletter to talk a little bit about our sister city with some pictures. We were able to meet up there with her descendant, Colleen Jenkins, who many of us met at the Sister City celebration here this last September. So I have to say it was very moving. I'm very glad to have gone. I'm very glad that we are sister cities and we have a responsibility as Tenafly. We are coming up on 250-year anniversary of America and New Jersey. I'd really like to use that opportunity to maybe do something here to commemorate Tenafly's history. And just very quickly about for knowledge about the foxes, because I checked with Nature Center and a few other experts. I believe that you had seen like a fox den nearby. So what it is toward the end of August and early September, those kits are going to be moving on.
Okay.
So right now you see them venturing out and they go back to the den, but then after that they're off. So it really should not. They're getting their own.
They might.
They don't live in a den with each other anymore. They go off to a new territory.
I was told the vineyard.
I just, as again got reminded to me, we need to have some predators such as foxes or whatever, because it does help the prey, such as the
Skunks.
squirrels, skunks, rats, mice, chipmunks,
I'd rather have
whatever.
a fox
I
than
will
a
say
skunk.
I've seen fewer chipmunks. Good point.
So that's kind of how it goes. So I just wanted to pass along the information.
Can I just respond to something?
Yeah.
Julie, I will say, I just want to say for our public too, our library in its locked glass cases has incredible history for Elizabeth Cady Stanton,
Oh.
and almost every book written about her is here in Tenafly.
That's
And
great to know.
I just also want to say, she kept being pregnant and couldn't travel, which is why she sent Susan B. Anthony to Seneca Falls. So keep in mind, I think she had 7 kids.
7,
Which is
yes.
why also people know Susan B. Anthony and not her. But Elizabeth Cady Stanton wrote the speeches that Susan said.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're going to have a nice little shadow box display shortly. I know Omar's working on it. But I did want to just show you all
That's awesome.
the key.
And thank
Look,
you for representing us.
old timey jail when it opens or something. You're welcome. Thank you. And just special props to Nina's mother and father who did the work in the 1970s of putting the house on the National Registry. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
We really should have a permanent display in our borough somewhere for this kind of stuff.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
No, but I mean,
you'll
we should
see
like,
it.
All right.
Wait, what are we doing?
Jamie, do you have anything? Nothing?
No.
Adam, anything to report?
Super quick, I want to celebrate the Reader's Choice Awards came out the other day. If you guys saw, big props, JCC, Tenafly Bike Shop, Tenafly Honda, Tavleen, ShopRite Axia, Brightview, Quartsense, Pinky Nails, I know you go there, Councilman, and Underground Training and many others, but it's great to see. I'm really happy with the chambers doing a great job of promoting and getting things out there. It's always wonderful to see Tenafly recognized.
I saw that.
And then October 19th, please get on your calendars for our Fall Fest. So we have that as well. And that's about it.
Thank you very much.
Short and sweet.
Councilman Roglieri.
I'm not sure I've had the opportunity to state publicly, so I will take it now that I have recently had experience with our EMTs and think that they're doing an outstanding job in terms of their responsiveness. No experience that you can hear about is as meaningful as a direct experience. So having had that, I want to publicly recognize them for their professionalism, including the Tenafly police as well. There's an incident that happened, I actually wasn't here, but
and I've spoken to the chief about this, several of our officers, and they were highlighted earlier, are really special, sympathetic, actively engaged people that really deserve to be recognized in every single opportunity. That's it.
That's very nice. You brought that up. Good work.
I have a big one.
Councilwoman
Sorry
Day.
if I take a second, but New Jersey actually just consolidated all of their, this is from our senior services meeting, all of their senior services tax relief into one form. You don't, but just so you understand our tax relief programs, I'm going to do this a little bit quickly. It is the New Jersey Income Tax Relief, the Veterans Credit, the Annual Senior Citizen Property Tax Deduction, the Senior Freeze that we know about, Anchor, and now the 2025 one is called Stay New Jersey. So they all overlap. They all have different qualifications. Now what they're doing is they're not telling you pick what you want. They're saying fill out this form. Some of these are income-based, some are not. Some are age-based. Susan's nodding. These are like going to be so complicated. They're all overlapping. But now they're going to say fill out one form. It is now online. It's a blue book. We should have some of these in our borough, which I'll give to David. But it's a blue book. Now a senior can fill this out. In September, it opens. There's an application filing event at many boroughs. We should have an application filing event here with our senior services
Good
and
idea.
our senior center with people who can answer questions, because apparently it's very confusing. You could rent and get some of this relief actually for the first time, which is, I think, very interesting. So now we should get together for the next few weeks with Risa and Michelle Hausch and get this together. If the council approves, that we can do an application filing event, which I think is enormously helpful.
Well, you can have an event we can have an event at the senior center.
That's fine, but we need to advertise it for families who are also filling it out for their loved ones with, dementia or Alzheimer's or medical issues who can't get down to the senior center because, I'm on senior services. But it's going to be, if your income now for 2025 is actually under 500,000, which is a huge leap, by the way. No, Dan, you want to take it? Because you're be better
Stay
at
NJ
this.
is 500K.
In 2026,
No,
2026.
still 500K.
Yeah,
Anchor
just-
is 165.
I just want to throw something out
It's
there.
annoying. It's
Yeah.
really
It's very
everywhere.
complicated this year.
Yeah, it's one thing we can host like an information thing
We
at
need
the
to.
senior center, but like filling out forms and
Oh, yeah.
applications is not something we want to do.
Agreed, but
Right.
we want to let them know that this application is now consolidated and opening in September. It should go in our
So
newsletter.
I'm just gonna jump in because David's a little bit ahead of you and he already reached out to me last week on
Oh,
this.
man, right here.
David.
Right there. Thank you.
So we're
David,
working
thank you,
on
'cause I know Lisa was
updating
worried.
information together and
Yes.
seeing what is appropriate for how much help would be appropriate, which is where we are right now is how much is
Mhm.
okay without me being a liability.
So we, at the senior services meeting, actually brought in an expert on this. Actually, two people made a presentation. They were excellent. They actually said they are so happy to come back. They didn't cost us anything. They were happy. They go around to different boroughs. Risa has their information, and maybe that's, pass it to Wendy, see if that, is
Okay.
appropriate. But I will tell you,
Stuff like that, I think the issue is whether or not we want borough employees to be filling out the forms. So
no, we don't.
Yeah, that's
We
a
A
don't.
third party like that would be helpful.
A third party, but Risa is there to help and is now becoming an expert on all this stuff. So
Okay,
for any public interested, the borough, but can you pass this to David? So
that's a
this
good idea.
is-
All right,
this is the
anything else,
form.
Lauren?
No, just the planning board met, and on our planning board meeting, it was very, very quick. I think it was the quickest meeting in the history of the borough, right? What were we at, a half hour? They said there was no issues in the master plan of our closing Giernmont Park, and that was it, and that was the end of our planning board, so.
All right, very good.
But I will tell you, for those of you looking, Starbucks application coming in August, the end of August.
Oh, wow.
August, yep. End of this month.
Starbucks.
All right, can you read the going into closed
Actually,
session?
sorry, before we end, I apologize. That quiet little woman over there, Susan
Yes.
Grotto, 10 years with the borough.
Oh, Susan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We need to acknowledge that.
You said. Okay, now we can
Can you read the closed session language, please?
It is Resolution R25-424 at a meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on August 4th, 2025. Be it resolved that in compliance with NJSA 10:4-12, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly are going into closed executive session to discuss the following matters: the State Health Benefits Plan update and contract negotiations, non-collective bargaining. Minutes will be taken to the meeting and released to the public at the time that the matter is resolved.
Can I get a motion to go into close, please?
So moved.
Second.
Can I get a second?
That's exactly.
All in favor? Any opposed? Let's go into close.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read. Plus, are you ready, Omar?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to close the open session, please? Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Omar, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.
Good night.
I'll sign those contracts in the morning.
Yes.
Right, you're not doing anything with them tonight.
No.
Have a good night, Julie.